Welcome to Walking with Jesus Bible Study. We are going to be in the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 10. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. And God saw that it was good. Now I'm going to repeat those. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. And God saw that it was good. Does God see goodness when he looks upon us? We easily become disheartened with this question as we begin to count our sins. We've made poor life choices. We become quick to anger, and we covet others' belongings. Although God sees each mistake and reviews each poor decision, he is merciful. He calls upon us to ask for forgiveness, making it possible for our sins to be washed away. He sees our true hearts and the goodness held within. He's all-knowing. He knows everything about us. Everything we said, everything we've done, everything we thought, everything we dream. When we are put to the test, when we are tempted, because God doesn't tempt us, the devil tempts us. God tests us. He allows us to be tested, but he doesn't tempt us. That temptation comes from the devil. That's the devil trying to imitate God and his test. We all know that the devil loves to imitate God. He loves to copy any and everything that he does. And that's where temptation comes in. See, God likes to put us through tests because he likes to see what is in our hearts. He gives us a free choice. He doesn't control us. Though he knows any and everything and he has the power to do any and everything, the one thing he does not do is control our mind. He gives us that freedom. We have the freedom to choose. We have the freedom to think for ourselves. He doesn't mind control us at all. So sometimes he puts us to the test, and not that he doesn't know your true character, because he knows your heart. When you go through those tests, it allows you to see for yourself who and what you are. Here's the thing about us people, we don't like to be told about ourselves. And when we are told about ourselves, we don't like to listen to what people say. We get offensive, we get defensive, we get angry, we get butthurt, and we don't believe it. Some people do. And to those people, kudos to you. Because that means that you're growing in maturity. That means you want to change who you are. A lot of people don't think that they need to change. A lot of people think that they're perfect in the way that they are. There's a lot of moms out there that think, oh, I'm a good mom. I'm a great mom. And that is an evil place to be. I'm not saying this to be rude. The reason why it's evil, because in that mindset, you are therefore no longer or is willing to see where you can improve. Because you don't think you need improvement. You think you're already good at what you do. You think you're already at the level what you need to be. A great mom will always doubt that she's a good mom, because she's always going to be looking for ways that she could have done better and will do better. She's only going to gain more knowledge. She's going to gain more growth in herself and as a parent, to strive for and to do better. Because we are not perfect and we do not know it all. And we are not that great. We could always do better. There should always be room for improvement. The moment we stop trying to learn and to gain wisdom is the moment that we start ungrowing. We start to wither away. What happens when a plant is already done, grown to its thing, and then it's done so many years, it just withers and dies? It no longer wants to get any bigger. It no longer wants to bloom. It just wants to give up and just die. So if we see ourselves as that we no longer need to grow, the only thing that's left for us to do is just to die. And see, through these tests, even though God doesn't do it because he needs to know, he already knows. He wants you to see for yourself. Because there's no other better way than to tell you, than to let you see for yourself how you are, how you handle this. How did you handle when you went through that? Did you own up to your own responsibilities? Did you own up to your own blame? Or did you pass the blame on to other people and didn't see that you needed to do anything? Because here's the thing, no matter what we go through, there's always something about us that we need to fix. That's why we're going through that. Just like in breakups, when people break up, they want to sit there and say, oh, man, that ex, he did this, and it just wasn't great for me. Because did you look at, a lot of people don't like to look at themselves. And then, therefore, their personality and their characteristic is never going to change. And then when they get into that same the next relationship, they're going to do the same thing and act the same way. And they're going to wonder why these people keep leaving them. Because they haven't seen what is wrong with themselves in order to fix it. Everybody's at fault and everybody's at blame. Oh, he may have been an abuser. He may have did this, and you didn't put your hands on him, but they put their hands on you. Here's the thing: how many red flags was there that got yourself to get to that point? See, yeah, that dude may have been an evil person, and he may have done straight evil the whole time he was there. But how did you allow it to get yourself to that point? That's your fault. That wasn't his fault. So you can always put the blame on that person doing evil. But you allowed them to do these things. You allowed yourself to be there. You allowed yourself to get it that far. So we all have our faults and we all have our blames in any and everything. No matter how bad the situation was against you. Yes, all that stuff was wrong and very evil. But what did you gather from it to where you cannot, where you don't allow to, you put yourself in that situation no more? You know, and this, sometimes there's some really awful things happen to really good people. And so there we can go like, well, what can we learn from that? You know, what did we do in that situation? Especially if somebody was, you know, ends up getting raped and stuff. How did we, you know, put ourselves in that situation and stuff? Honey, that wasn't you putting yourself in that situation. That was just an evil person doing evil things. And we got to learn to be aware of evil people. Sometimes we didn't do anything wrong, but as a warning, as a lesson to make sure that we don't end up in that same spot again. That we make sure that we do not get attacked again. And sometimes it's very hard because, you know, the devil is just a evil person. And he just like with Job, when things just kept happening back to back and back to back and back to back and back to back. You know, and what was he doing wrong in that situation? Nothing. God was putting him through the test. God was putting him through the fire. It is how he handled those situations as an individual. And because he handled them correctly, he was able to grow. And he was gained back to everything that he ever lost. What did you do after that situation was put upon you? How did you treat yourself? How did you treat others?